one.
Yeah. Let's see how this one goes. How will they settle the score here for this series? We're looking at our cameras on screen. We have Ryzen, and we also have Boyet AR on the other side. We see help coming from Domin AR, Lesion out their jungler. And looking at the trivia here on our screens, the Sonics dominates the Tigers since MLB Philippines Season 8. Onic and Minana Evos have met 27 times, and Onic has won 20, while Minana has won 7.
Well, to be fair, those are different players.
Yeah.
So
Different franchise as
different
well.
franchises.
Is there any difference with this emblem right now, Hans?
I mean, and speaking of the emblem, I'm seeing a bunch of... There's only one person who used the Wilderness Blessing. Actually, two of them. It's the Graka from Minana and also another from the side of Onic Philippines. Because aside from the black shoes, you'd love to have Lilia use the Wilderness Blessing so that it could be faster for her to just go around and roam the map as much as he can to assist the rest of his teammates in case Minana Evos goes for the extra push on to the side lanes of Onic Philippines.
I think it's safe if he goes that route because he has the Purify. Both of two members of Onic Philippines that has Purify. So if they go with the rotation with Perksiva and Ryzen, I think it's a safe way to force out something out of Minana Evos. Just as now, they were just waiting for that Bush to actually who peaks first and gaining control on their own camp. I say it's a good start for both, but Minana has more advantage in terms of like healing and just early pokes. Look at that, Dominate and Onic.
Yup.
Nets.
There's the early that you want to see right there. Doming AR actually maximizing the early hits and the ability of a Brody to, kite back while you're unleashing your shots. Now, Ryzen looks like he's got pretty good control of this turtle, but everyone's just piling on him. Look at him. They're punishing Ryzen. He can't even move. Oh, my goodness. That is such dominance here coming in from Minana. They got the turtle, and they got the kills.
They got him surrounded at that point. Minana Evos got the turtle and then surrounded the Fredrin that was held here by Ryzen. Gem tried to help him by going inside using the extra dash, but unfortunately for him, there was just too many tanky heroes.
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about, right? He faced the Boyet, Doming, and Brusco AR at that point. There was nothing that he can do. Even a final slash could be the final way for him before he goes down.
Yeah, the BBLU.
What does that mean?
Big, beefy lineup that we're seeing from Minana Evos. You have Doming, you have Boyet AR, you also have Lord Jim AR, you have Brusco AR. So you have more ways to hold your front line, and as well as you have more sustain in early games. So this is just their own spike, bless the index, to even just by being executed against Onic Philippines. So with this kind of pressure, I think what you've pointed out early on from Super Friends and Perceive just roam around freely in Minana Evos, I think vision is one of the key things they need to do up against them.
Yeah, unfortunately for them though, it's going to be up to Perksiva to just locate where the other members are going to be coming from because they want to divide or derive the attention away from nets. That is the mission for the side of Onic Philippines in this game. They need to wait for the power spike of the Irithel for them to be able to unleash Fury in the team fights. But the thing is, they don't have it as of the moment because Boyet AR, Doming AR, and even Lancy is surrounding nets in terms of the gold department. So it's something that they really need to take into consideration because the pressure is already being felt by the gold laner from Onic.
How about this? Rocker, do you see something different here from the movements of Minana right now?
They're more confident because of the nature of their lineup, which is very tanky, and even their gold laner is super duper tanky. Well, not super duper. He's probably the tankiest gold laner in the game so far because of the way that you build a Brody. But yeah, they can play confidently, and I think that's exactly where Minana shines. If they play this lineup confidently, I feel like they're going to have just an easy time here. And it's up to Onic to find these holes in their offense. But Minana so far not showing anything, even securing that turtle very easily without contest.
Okay, so they just let the second objective loose and let Minana take it. But when that take is happening, they all rush down to go down bottom right away, Sona.
And unfortunately for them, they won't be able to locate Doming AR at that point, who has already secured the Blade of Heptasis as his first item. So the basic attack after a few seconds is going to hurt a lot at that point. And Super Friends needs to be able to get the itemizations ready for him to be able to dish out a bunch of damage as well. It's already the Enchanted Talisman that was being built up here by the mid laner coming in. But here comes the action.
Yeah, that was so easy for them to take, but the trade here is their gold laner. I'm not sure how worth that is, because now it's going to be giving Doming even more freedom to roam here and take that turret as well. Look at JM right now. He's just flexing on it like a monster.
Yeah, looking back on their composition, if you're building up damage for Nets, you don't want that to keep on happening. How do you build up that momentum, the damage, and with just the pressure that Minana is given right now, they're being pushed to a lane to babysit even more of a switch.
Yeah, if you think about it that way, that trade for Lancy was very, very worth it.
At this point, though, Onic doesn't have a choice. They don't have the necessary damage to just go and unleash Ham on the side of Minana Evos, which is why the side of Minana, the Tigers are exploiting that weakness as of the moment. They're just using every single skill possible to make it to the point where they won't be able, or Onic won't be able to have enough damage to just go ahead. So there's Lord JM with already 3 assists, Boyet having 2 kills, and the Tortoise Poissance is a very good help because it stops the regeneration factor coming in from the other members of Onic Philippines.
Yeah, just by thinking about it, it's just slowly becoming a nightmare if you can't escape. You're going to be forced to use those petrifies right away, even purifies rather, to even just leave the possible setup of Minana Evos. Because
Right.
with this point, they actually would disengage, or they would just respect the fact that they can't just go and contest early on. But we're seeing a different view from Onic Philippines. They want to go hop ahead against Minana Evos.
They really want to hop in here, but Minana looks like they're really in a bad position, but Super Friends going to be able to secure that with some gloom. Gloom and doom coming in for Minana. That was a turtle that should have been secured by Boyet here.
I mean, at this point, if it's not Ryzen, if it's not Boyet, and if you're the supporting cast, a win is a win, right? You'll take at whatever you'll take whatever you can get at this point to just keep the gold lead within a striking distance. And with that being said, Windtalker has already been bought here by Nets at this point. He's not really being pressured as much compared to the first few minutes, which is why 2 items were already secured by that guy. Not to mention, there was also a Haas Claws being built up as the first item coming in from the gold laner. So this is something that's going to prepare him in case that there are ganks coming in from the side of Minana.
How do they even prepare from this? Because if ganks are concerned about this point, we're at 8 minutes, so the lead is not too far yet for Onic Philippines, but they need to cover more of the pushes that Minana Evos has been doing for the past second. So this gives Nets a chance to even space, because he was just ganked once or killed once. So maybe at this time that if the roamer, speaking of which, can cover some tracks, they just kind of want to put some pressure or a block of vision as they do this skirmish in mid lane.
They're absorbing so much damage here. Minana.
Whoa, Ryzen.
Ryzen's got it. He's going to go and get that kill there. And again, that is a huge punish here for Onic. Minana just did not respect the damage that could come out.
And that is
Onyx.
exactly what they need to do, right? Just
Perfectly.
focus on one person. If the Grok, Fredrin, or even the Yuzong is away, that's the time for them to strike.
That is the vision, the winning vision of Onic Philippines. If they do this over and over again, that's just completely by time. And as you can see, the advantage of gold's completely slowing, going back to Onic Philippines, as we saw a few seconds from now. So it's the first Lord of the game.
Yep.
Who has more control in this one? Because as objectives are concerned, it was 2-1, 2 turtles onto Minana Evos. And with this point, I think Onic has more advantage to go up front against Minana Evos from this time.
Yeah, Brusco has control. There's a reason you pick up a Grok. It's maximum control with the Guardian's Barrier, which will make it harder for the enemy to push in unless they all dive in at the same time, which is going to be so difficult to control. And
Yeah.
don't forget, there is a final slash ready to use here for Gem. So this 50-50 is going to have to really
Oh,
be
there's Dragon.
super confident.
Who gets it?
Retribution!
Who gets it?
Who's going to get it? Oh, yeah, there you go. That's going to be the kills coming in as well from Onic
wait.
this time around, though. Man, the regen nerf is just not enough to slow down Ryzen.
That was a beautiful takedown coming in from the side of Onic Philippines. And instead of Minana Evos even extending their gold lead, it was minimized. It was brought down to just 300 gold. And this is
100
something
now.
that was very well executed coming in from the side of the Sonics, because they knew that they would be able to contest in terms of the Lord take. And in case they won't be able to do that, there's an extended team fight. There's the Irithel, there's the Lilia, and that was exactly the winning piece, the winning momentum for them to bounce back in this game and might even so take the lead for themselves.
Yeah, the big beefy lineup, as we call it in the English desk. So how do you even manage to poke out the health out of Boyat AR or even Brusco AR? The patch right now of the Yuzo is doing a lot of work, specifically looking by just the items. Just having the steel leg plates and even radiant armor for this Grok gives so much advantage. And not to mention the blade armor of Baksha as well. So having the right amount of armor of Onic Philippines Power Spike right now as they brew up their mid-game, I think it's a shortening way of saying that Onic could actually bounce back with the damage department.
Yeah, it's getting through the BBC, the big beefy comp. You just overthink it.
Comp,
That's
guys,
the problem
okay?
with you,
Comp.
bro.
Okay.
Big beefy comp.
Composition.
Composition.
Thank you so much,
Thanks for
Rockhart.
clearing that up, Rockhart.
Yeah.
All right, that's a good. Yeah, you got me out of character there, bud. But okay.
You guys gotta,
yeah.
gotta be on your toes
yeah,
here.
Yeah, my bad. I understand, but again, now as we take a look at it, it seems like the main leader of the goal is gonna be none other than Irithel. He doesn't give any sort of care onto what defensive item Minana Evos has, because he already has secured, I believe, a bunch of boots that could really help him out. I think there's also the Malefic Roar and nets from, nothing to something. 8.9k is already evident coming in from Onic Gold, the Onic Gold laner. And not to mention, the pressure was being alleviated as well by the rest of the members. That's why Nets was able to farm so freely, because Super Friends was just out there dealing the damage.
Yeah, basically Minana just trying to dodge out Super Prince's glooms here.
Oh, there's a
And
call.
they're trying to do that right now by
Oh,
going
no.
straight
Nets!
to the root of the problem, which is Nets. Man, oh man, when Minana dives you, just so hard to react.
Oh,
but they're doing it
wait.
under the tower. That's not where you want to fight, and they're going to pay for it 2-1.
Yeah, Perxiva goes with the double, and they completely take down Lord Jamie and Brusco AR. Trying for a chase. Onic Philippines in pursuit. Flickered out of Lancy AR. Boyd AR receives the knock-up. Oh, he's still sustained. Oh, he's a boxer.
Oh my goodness. So Onic was like, why are you running? It was basically reaching to the point where they were no longer able to sustain their very own, because again, they were fighting under the turret, and Rockhart was right. What were they doing in that position? It was just a beautiful initiation coming in from Minana Evos, but I felt like they overextend. Now the Lord is part of the action, and who's gonna take this at this point?
Oh, damage received right now. Just Brusco AR deflecting most of the damage. I think Minana has more way to sustain, but this boils down how the retribution would actually work from these two junglers. It's Ryzen versus Boyat AR. Who
Nets
gets
is-
the last hit?
Nets is very far behind here, so he can't really react immediately. Now the resets can come in,
Reset.
and that's exactly what you want if you're Minana, because everyone's like in a weird position. Onic seems like they're more ready to fight this, unless
Jam.
where is Doming? Where's the Guardian's barrier here?
Up top.
He's too
Brusco.
far. He's too far.
Lancy up there.
They're waiting. Onic Philippines just waiting. They don't have vision on where's the gold laner of Minana right now. And
Another reset.
Oh,
Another
another
reset.
reset. Yeah, Filipino lore dance, and you get a lot of resets.
Yeah.
This happens a lot.
Well, that's fair. You know what, Minana, that's actually good for them if you think about it. Onic, they need to chip away again on the Lord here, just a little bit. But this time, maybe Super Prince maybe has to be more careful. He has a black
Ooh.
shoes, or the pink shoes in this case. But that's not gonna be enough to if Minana goes on full dive on you again.
But who's going to dive, though? Lancy are trying to slowly dive against Super Friends. Nobody's
There's the wall.
trying. Okay, they don't know where Domin AR is, but I know they at some point they would know.
Don't
but
tell me to reset
It's
again.
another
No,
reset,
please don't.
isn't it?
There's a
Oh,
call.
there's a conceal. There's a conceal.
Not
It
even-
has to happen now. Oh, they're too far away, aren't they? Oh, there it is. There's the very
Oh!
but Ryzen still gets the retribution. And everyone just getting cleaned up here for Minana. 2 for none, and the Lord debut. That's 4K for Onic Philippines.
Lancey might get in trouble, but no, he's still safe. Onic Philippines with the
Wait.
question, how the hell did they sustain that one? Dominic
Whoa!
Nets falls down.
That was a safe takedown. Coming in from the side of Minana Evos, Onic Philippines was able to take down two. But unfortunately for them, Nets was caught in the process, and it looks
Super
like
Fritz.
Doming is next.
And Doming, nice effort. But no, you're actually more needed in mid.
Yeah.
We need you to clear this. What do you do?
Oh my goodness.
Okay, that's the
Oh my
wall block
goodness.
from the Grok. So
All
that
right.
was just completely
He bought time. That's good though.
yeah,
for
but that was
Minana.
Domin AR. That was the Brody. And
wait.
final slash onto Lancey AR looking for a way.
Lancey,
Oh, he's back.
nice black shoes right there for Minana. Onic just giving them what they want right now. And I would say losing just one inhibitor turret, that's already best case scenario if you are on the red side right now.
Yeah, and they're taking the purple out of Minana Evos as well from Boyet AR. So lead slowly with Onic Philippines. How's the replay going here for you, Sona?
It was a beautiful takedown coming in from the side of Onic Philippines because Ryzen was stuck in a very good position that was very clear on the Lord side. It was also the initiation coming in from Lord JMAR that helped them to just sustain a little bit further. But unfortunately for them, both Nets and Super Friends had a moment to themselves, had space for themselves to actually deal a bunch of damage. And it also translates with the items that they already have right now.
Yeah.
Ice Queen 1 is very much helpful in terms of team fights because you slow the other members down even when some of them already have the quantum charge. I'm talking about Doming at this point. Maybe it's what saved him to break Nets onto the top side, but he was also punished in that area.
Well, speaking of punish, that's one thing that Minana Evos doesn't need to keep on doing from their side, because looking at the gold or Nets is just leading the pack here, and Domin AR as Hans is trying to break down the bits and pieces of how this damage can go in team fights. They need more damage this time to answer against Onic Philippines. This is their window. The late game is their window, and with the momentum catching up from the side of the yellow hedgehogs, this is just them completely having a great way, and they need to close the game if they want to get the series.
Yeah, Nets right now seem to be in the lead, and he's definitely one of the most consistent players here for Onic. Always does the job you give to him. And again, if Minana wants to take him out, they have to commit so much, right? So,
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Because if you're the side of Onic, I have to say, it's a very nice set of battle spells that could continue to help them later on. Onic is very much aware that the only thing Minana Evos is going to look at and look for is going to be Super Friends and Nets, which is why they prioritized focusing on the Purify instead of Flicker or any other else out there that would be defensive or offensive for them. Meanwhile, Minana Evos, their only main damage leader at this point is going to be none other than Doming AR. So Onic Philippines, eyes on point. They have to be precise onto how they can locate Doming AR, because if they don't, then maybe it's a free hit.
Okay, speaking of location, they spotted Lancey AR and Brusco AR. So they managed to bring down a bit of an HP, but they're just looking for a wave to even hold. But there's a conceal coming in from Minana Evos. What's the call here?
Here we go again. The problem with Minana Evos, you go
Oh,
for the full
no.
commit, and if you don't make it work, you're down by a lot of
They
skills.
could be punished, though.
That's a
They
big
could be
punish
punished.
possibility here coming in for Onic. And they are going to play it a little bit safer than I thought they would. If I was Onic, I would have gone full commit. But then again, that's the reason why they are still pretty much in the lead here.
Oh!
Beautiful
Oh, no.
entrance, but bad ultimate activation here. The angle from Perks, it was just way too far.
It was so close. I mean, the space, the wall was there, but unfortunately, it didn't hit the mark as
angle,
much.
man.
Right? We're talking about the angles at this point. It needs to have like a hypotenuse or something. Nah, scratch that. I'm not gonna
I'm
talk
not gonna-
math.
No,
at
no,
this
no.
point.
It's
Yeah,
just
so,
a
yeah,
miscalculation.
yeah, I'm not gonna do that anymore.
From Perksiva. It could have been a better set. It could have been a takedown from Lance AR, but he had the ultimate of Super Friends or the Lilia. That
Alright.
was the reset, but look at that. Gem is
Speaking of
just puncturing
ultimates,
through.
all the ultimates are back
Wait!
online, but the problem is Minana's jungler gonna fall right away even before the whole fight starts. Lancey already using the final slash for Minana.
Whoa!
Oh my goodness, but look, Onic
Okay.
members are low. Got Murtazzi's going down here. Jam.
Oh!
Oh, Super Friends for MVP in this game, no doubt, right? No doubt about it.
No doubt. At this point, Super Friends is him.
What a
he's
chat!
He's just showcasing why there's a Super and he's the Prince of Onic Philippines, right? He's just dishing out a bunch of damage and then from there use the Black Shoes. He hasn't even used his Purify at this point. It's just safety. It's just security. And he's letting, or Onic Philippines is letting Super Friends do his thing while they get their Sword. And now that the inhibitor is absolutely gone, this might be the kill.
Yeah, especially if they catch Lamb,
Oh!
which they do. What are you going to do now? Free man defense coming in from Minana, but it's looking very difficult for them to clear, especially without Lancy here.
The
who is
base.
near. That's going to be the base going down. We got a 1-0.